Who started playing the song Rocklin? It was playing in the background. After we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you very much for your time. I'm sure anything Kojo Antwified has to do for most of us with a musical concert. Tonight, it is not a musical concert. It is a book launch interspersed with music. Because the man himself is a genius by all standards. We all know what he's done. Contributed to the music industry, kept us entertained for Kojo how many years? 50 years? Oh, still work in progress, so we should stop counting the years. So he says it's work in progress. As long as the wheels are moving, it is work in progress. Kojo, thank you so very much. This is the very first time, I'm sure. Kwesi, do you remember any artist of his caliber in our country doing something like this? A book launch, an autobiography. Well, Ochiame Kwame is much younger. I'm talking Kojo's generation. Before him. Let's applaud Kojo. He's done some. He's blazed a thrill. He's blazed a trail, and I saw Ochiame Kwame in here earlier. Where's Ochiame Kwame again? Well, you're next. Kojo Biekwaino. Ain't he? Over to you. So, Kojo, thank you very much for blazing this trail, and I'm sure a lot of people will follow. I'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Ivor Kobna Greenstreet, one-time flag bearer, aspirant, presidential aspirant for the Convention People's Party, my very own Akunta. Ivor, good evening. Nice to know you're here. Shall we acknowledge Ivor Greenstreet, please? Thank you very much. As we roll along tonight, I'll acknowledge other guests that we have. But there's one singer, musician, artist, performer here tonight with us who has shattered the proverbial glass ceiling. And for those who don't know him, well, to be a Grammy Award nominee is a big deal. Please, Rocky Dawuni is in the house. My guy Rocky, good to see you, and thank you for doing what you do and ensuring that our name is constantly up there on the map out there. And my little sister, my daughter, my girlfriend, who says she's doing something called Women of Valor. She herself has a story to tell. Nanaba Namoa is here with us this evening. Nanaba, when is your program? 7th March in London. Abaso, Twaso, I wish you well. She's given women a chance to speak. Women a chance to sit on the very big stage out there and tell their story as a way of inspiring other women. To, encourage them, to let them understand, let them know that, hey, you're not in this alone. There are people with stories worse than yours, but have managed to do it. And so, Nanaba Nama, you're a woman of valor. I wish you were. Nana is in the house with us tonight. And good evening, Nana. Thank you very much. Also, I noticed Mr. Wafoyewa, the man who dared to run for president as an independent candidate. A very, very staunch golfer. Great guy. Say, and the Obama Kakra. Yeah, you better talk about it. Mr. Wafoyewa, please shall we acknowledge him? Thank you very much for joining us. I also noticed in the back a man who is easily described as a star maker, a man with several years of entertainment under his belt, from running a very, very popular joint, all the way branching off into music, television, creative arts and all. A man who needs no introduction. Please welcome Talal Fatal. Talal, we've forgiven and forgotten, darling. We'll forgive and forget. So thank you very much, Talal, for your time. As we go along, I'll acknowledge as and when. So tonight, we're all going to be witnesses to the launch of Mr. Music Man, The Journey by Kojo Antwified, together with George Isiam. At this point, I'd like to welcome the man he represents many things for many people. Father, mentor, big brother, regular go-to person. The man is over 75, I think, and still looks good, still has his wit about him, and he's agreed to be part of this very exciting evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sir Sam Jonah for his remarks.
once, Kwame, for those very kind words. Our Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, our own sister, Abla Jifa Gumashi, the finest, KKD, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, my dear friend, Kojo, the celebrant, our beloved Mr. Music Man. It is a profound honor for me to be here tonight, celebrating the launch of Kojo's book, Mr. Music Man, The Journey. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, this is not just another book. It is a mirror reflecting the incredible path of a man I have come to know, admire, and support over many years. Kojo, as I flip through these pages, I'm reminded of our shared moments that have shaped not only your story, but a piece of mine as well. I still remember with great fondness the first time I experienced your magic. It was one of your live shows in Accra, back when I was navigating the demands of my own career at Anglo Gold Ashanti then, as it was called. Amidst the crowd's energy, your voice cut through like a warm embrace from home. Songs like Mino Obeo spoke directly to our soul, echoing the complexities of love and life that I have felt in my own journey. From the humble beginnings of Obuasi to coming to lead a global company. It wasn't for me just an entertainment. It was a personal connection that made me seek you out. That, as you recall, led to our first meeting in my office at Gold House, where you arrived with your good friend, the late Rick Yosei. We talked for hours about music, dreams, and the power of perseverance. I was so inspired that I introduced you to executives of Island Records, hoping to open doors to Mango Records for African talents like yours. Regrettably, that particular opportunity didn't pan out as I hoped. Our bond nevertheless grew stronger. You remember, Kojo, when I invited you to perform at Anglo Gold Ashanti's international show in Johannesburg. Representing Ghana, alongside artists from all over the world, you shone so brightly. It filled me with immense pride, as if I was watching a brother succeed. And then more recently, you recall at my own 70th birthday, you graced the stage once again. Your performance wasn't just a highlight. It was a gift that brought us joy, so much joy to everybody, including me, Kojo. Kojo, you've been with me through many milestones, just as I have been trying to be with you. Your quiet determination, rising from those early struggles in Accra streets, blending high life and reggae with messages of unity, mirrors the resilience I have drawn upon in my own life. We know you've mentored many young artists, built a legacy of integrity, and never lost that authentic Ghanaian spirit that grounds all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this book is more than your journey, Kojo. It is an inspiration for me and countless others. Indeed, it reminds me that true greatness, comes from staying true to one's calling, no matter the obstacles. Kojo, thank you very much for letting me be part of your story, for the music that soundtracked my reflections, the conversations that have enriched my perspective, and the friendship that has endured. To everyone here, please let's celebrate this remarkable man. Kojo, here's to many, many more chapters. May your melody continue to inspire all of us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Sir Sam Jonah. Yeah, go ahead. Kojo Antwi in brass band form. Kojo wankasa. Shall we applaud them again? That's very interesting. I noticed at the point he was nodding and Ochame Kwame was pushing, and then the finest Kikidi was like, wow. Kwesi one part now kind of wild. Interesting. So tonight, as we said, we're celebrating Kojo Antwi. And as Sir Sam Jonah says, let us all remember, or let us remember, not to forget to remember, that tonight is for Kojo Antwi. He has done something that is really exciting. And Kojo, we are happy to share this moment with you. Congratulations to you. Congratulations once again. Now, Davi Eleredia. Nagbunyare. Cho. Why not? Abla Jifa Gumashi is a woman of many parts. A performer. She loves and hugs the stage. She's done it for years. And then she's gone into academia to ensure that what she loves to do, her passion. Also, she's created a lot of knowledge and imparted knowledge when it comes to that as well. Tonight, she's here as our Minister for Culture, Tourism, and Creative Arts. This is a creative arts moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Abla Jifa Gumashi.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to say that he's my younger brother. Yes, I know you are. But I didn't think that with my boss here, I was going to be the one speaking. But thank you for the opportunity to say a word. And Sir Sam Jonah, as always. And the reason why we're here, Kojo and your beautiful wife, my dear younger brother. No, you are not my younger brother. You're my brother, Piers, KKD. Carl, I see you. Kalampa, I see you. So very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a very wonderful evening. For me, for 3 reasons. I was the first secretary for GAPI. Then Nana Kwaku Sapon was the chairman of the National Commission on Culture. I know literally nothing about music, but I just happened to be the one who was available to be used to record the minutes of that meeting. But that gave me exposure into the kind of things that musicians do. Apart from us celebrating your music because we hear it and we're able to dance to it, there's also the fact that you take a lot of time to put it together before it becomes food that we consume. And Ghana, thank you very much for supporting the creatives and patronizing our things. Only a couple of days ago, I honored Habamat for the unique opportunity she had, which she amplified for shea butter. And for me, she created an opportunity for young people in our country to look at the opportunities that are bound in that ecosystem of plant and product. Then, 3 days ago, I had the audacity of using the appointment that I have to claim that we have a Fugu Wednesday. Thank you for believing in it and wearing Fugu. Now, for those of you who don't understand, my mother is from Teshi. My father is from Aplawu. So I'm from the south. But it should not stop me from recognizing the power that the smoke of Fugu can bring to our economy. Now, there are many people who didn't see the opportunity that came across because His Excellency, the finest gentleman who gave me this appointment, President John Dramani Mahama, wore the Fugu and brought about this furore or this euphoria. And I thought the wings have been spread out. Jifa, sit on it and fly. And I did. But thank you for believing and wearing the Fugu as well. This is what the power of creativity and culture can do. And for as long as we take the decision to consume what is produced by Ghanaians, not when we choose to, but because we have to. Because sometimes, of course, you do have a choice for your preference. But because of patriotism and because a Ghanaian is putting their energy behind it, I think in honoring them, as we are honoring Kojo tonight, we should just purchase them. Enough of the excuses of, and it's not good enough. It is when you are buying and making the corrections that we bring perfection. So very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me in celebrating one of the finest pace setters that I know, Kojo Antwified. Thank you very much for having me this evening. And Kwame, thank you for putting me on the spot. I love you anyway.
Always. Thank you very much, Jifa. Thank you so very much. And shall we applaud our Minister for Culture, Tourism and Creative Arts, Abla Jifa Gumashi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce a man who is Kojo Antwified through and through. I want him to tell his own story. He's the overlord of the Awin traditional area. And he's here with us tonight. He says he'd like to say a few words to share with all of us why Kojo Antwified just go kill him. You know, in street language, I mean. He's come all the way from Awin traditional area, and he says he has a story to tell. Please welcome the man, Beyeman Tano Quao Bembuin III. Beyeman Tano Quao Bembuin III, the overlord of the Awin traditional area. Please resume your seats. Thank you.
Good evening. The Honorable Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra, the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Arts and Creative Arts, Madam Jifa Gumashi, the Maestro, Honorable Sam Jonah, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether to say I discovered Kojo Antwified or Kojo Antwified discovered me. In 1988, I was 7 years old. I was sitting by a GBC1 radio, and I heard a song, Hinime. The voice was so captivating that at that tender age, when I knew nothing about music, I got interested in this man. To most of you, he's the king of arts. But to me, Kojo Antwified is more than that. And in a few words, I'd like to tell you what I think about him. To me, Kojo Antwified is the model African philosopher. Now, he announced himself officially on his 1986 masterpiece solo album entitled All I Need Is You, with a song, Nyamia Chemadie. And in that song, he is a model maestro. He was prophetic because he recognized his God-given talent as well as the somewhat irresistible hubris of fame and fortune. And in WW, which was just playing, he prayed that his parents should not die and leave him an orphan during his stay in Europe. Hence, his profound lyrics in Brebre Anoa in honor of Oba Panin Adwanyama and Opanu Kwadwo Siama, his parents, are of note here. Kojo Antwified has many attributes, and his songs put him at par with the great thinkers of yore. For what is it that Marcus Aurelius or the great Greek thinkers have said that surpasses what the music man, deep words, and outlook of life look like? They wrote theirs, Kojo Antwified writes his and sings his. As a Pan-African, you can't tell his Pan-Africanism just by his dreadlocks, his distinctive love for African clothing, and the melanin skin tone. If the Cartesian, I think, therefore I am, is to be trusted as an aphorism, then Kojo Antwified's Afrocentricity is inherent in his music, deserves to be explored. His traits as a Pan-African are inscribed in Ankwanoma. Lively people, tear down the walls of Africa, and Anoche, dedicated to Okomfo Anoche and Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for what they stood for, in Kojo Antwi's own words, black consciousness, justice, equality, and unity. Kojo Antwi and the venerable African wisdom. You hear the songs Abofra Bonwa, Onipodome, and Sunkwa. In those songs, Kojo Antwi spells out some good old African wisdom. With a journey to the West, for the privileged few, and I'm one of them, who have had a chance to read the book before its launch today, Kojo Antwi's 5-year in Europe imposes on us an unimpeachable duty to re-listen to Dabi Dabi, Atentehuro, and say a little prayer for the world. And Kojo Antwi is also a preacher man. He portrays his principled activism in the following songs. Once again, Onipodome, Momeyenodoyeho, Eneyene, Sikadam, and in Babylon the Great shall fall. Let me quote him. He says, man's preoccupation is a constant creation of weapons of destruction in this your cruel civilization, that every day the few rich exploit the many poor in the race for supremacy in abolition of mercy. Kojo Antwi then brings us down to earth to think about mortality. So he opens up about humans' fleeting and transient lives on earth in Emrebi Beba, the famous Adinkra, and Udinkankwa, among others. Kojo Antwi is a poet. If you've had a chance to listen to his songs well, let me tell you about how he starts the song Bra. And I translate. He goes, just like the spider weaves its web, just like the bird weaves its nest, just like the Bonre people weave their kente, come, let us weave our love together. In short, George Orwell once said that Charles Dickens was worth well stealing. If that is true, then we must also say the same thing about Kojo Antwi, for this is a man well worth emulating, a man whose steadfastness is unmatched. Can we find another great musician who is morally upright, honest, reserved but profound? In the book which is being launched today, we find a man whose autobiography is comparable to Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Confessions and is on equal footing with him as a philosopher. Thank you.
A very big thank you to the overlord of the Awoi traditional area, Beyeman Tano Quao Bembui III, a man who discovered Kojo Antwi when he was about 7 or 8 years old and has lived Kojo Antwi throughout his life. Shall we acknowledge? Shall we acknowledge? Shall we acknowledge? And now to do a rendition of a classic, her choice together with Kojo's choice. Tonight, one song from a young, exciting, sultry singer. Please welcome Sina Soul.